Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Today I want to talk to you about something that's very common, what we use. It's how to install a joist hanger, all right? So Simpson Strong Tie is a company that makes joist hangers. They make all kinds of different brackets for deck building and for construction in general. They make heavy duty brackets, light duty brackets, medium duty, all that stuff. So we use a lot of their products. You're gonna hear the word Z-Max a lot in outdoor living, because Z-Max is an enhanced coating. So everything that we use usually is identified at the end of the model number with a Z. So this particular joist hanger is called a Simpson LUS 210Z, which means it's a 2x10 Z-Maxed joist hanger, which is really important for corrosion resistance. Now this deck's gonna be waterproofed, so it's not gonna get wet all the time like some standard decks will. To have protection from copper chromium arsenate or other chemicals that are in pressure treated lumbers that are corrosive to metal, this helps protect it more. Obviously stainless steel is your best option, but a lot of people can't afford that. They're like $7 a piece, where this hanger is under $2. So it just depends on where you want to go with the longevity of your deck. But one of the most common problems I see with when people use a joist hanger, the joist hanger is designed to have a withstanding force pushing down. So the hanger needs to go all the way to the very bottom of the joist. I see this all the time. On decks we tear down, on decks that are failing. People don't seem to understand that these have to be all the way tight to your frame. If they're not, then you're not really serving the purpose. I know that lumber can shrink, that happens, but when we are installing our joist hangers, we always try to make sure they're super tight. You'll notice that there's a couple of flanges right here, one on each side. Those are like temporary supports that you can actually tack the joist hanger in place before you put the nails or screws in it. So there's a couple different options how you can fasten this joist hanger. I'm gonna show you two different ways. One is you nail it. You can use Tico nails. They have to be rated for joist hangers. You can't just use a regular 8D or 6D or any size nail you want. It needs to be a special sized shank that's designed to withstand loads. So we have ours loaded into a nail gun, but these are 2.5 inch nails. A lot of people put 1.5 inch nails through these holes right here, and then they put a 2.5 to a 3 inch nail through the side. But what we do, we put 2.5 inch nails through here, and then we use a 2.5 inch structural screw made by Simpson. It's called an SD screw, 2.5 inches long, and they're structural, which means they're gonna be able to withstand an earthquake better than a standard screw would. Those go in through the side, so you get a double shear holding power because you're going through the joist hanger, you're going through the joist, and then you're going into the ledger board. These are approved to use with this hanger in this particular instance. Now these joist hangers come in a 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, and 2x10 sizing, which is LUS 24, 26, 28, and 210. You can use a 2x10 joist hanger on a 2x12 as well. It's engineered to be that way, so they actually will sell you a 2x10 joist hangers for your 2x12 joists in case you're running 2x12s and you weren't sure. They don't make a 212Z. They used to, but they don't anymore. So it's LUS 210Z for your 2x10s and your 2x12s, and then your LUS 28Z you can actually use for 2x8 and 2x10, but I prefer to go with the 2x10 joist hanger if I'm running 2x10 joists. That's just the way I am. All right, so we'll get to these in a minute, but these again are stamped. I don't know if you can see this, but there's actually a stamp on every single screw with there is no equal symbol on it. That's Simpson symbol. Plus there's identifier like 2.5 on there, I believe, to let the inspectors know. Because if you put in the wrong length screw, if you put an 1.5 inch screw through here, and the inspector can see it, go, wait a minute, man, what are you guys doing? Putting an 1.5 inch screw through the side of it, that's not gonna do any good. It's just sitting, it's not even going into the ledger. So when you go to put your joist hanger in, okay, you gotta make sure that you have the bottom of your plate, bottom of the joist plate, the joist hanger, tight to the bottom of your joist. Then I'll hold it like this, and I'll put my first tab in. Now you'll notice all these joists are hanging on this wall, but they are not, there's no joist hangers on them yet. That's because we just put all these up. I've put them all to grade. Now, when you're installing joists on your house, the joists can vary in thickness up to 1/2 inch. So we never pre-install our joist hangers on the ledger before we put in our joists, because there's gonna be problems if you try to do that. You would never be able to know where this goes if every joist is a different thickness. You're gonna be trying to shave them or shim them. You're not supposed to shim them with anything. You're supposed to have a nice tight fit, just like this, every time, okay? Nice tight fit. So now that my fit is tight, I went to the other side, I put my little nail in. So now my joist hanger is sitting exactly where I want it. It's ready to go. So now I can nail all of my nail holes. Now for us, because we're deck builders and we're production guys, we're gonna use the nail gun to install these 8 nails that go into the side of the ledger. So here we go. So now we have all of our nails. If we have one that doesn't go in all the way, take a hammer, just tap on them, make sure you've got a nice tight connection to the house. Now that that's done, we're gonna go back with those special Simpson screws. Now, the reason I changed to this is because I noticed that when I'm attaching nails or screws through here, there was 2 reasons. One, there was the issue that a 2.5 inch nail wasn't code approved, that you needed to put a 3-inch nail through these sides. I think it depends on your jurisdiction if that's true or not, but if I use this 2.5 inch screw, it does not matter. I'm good to go no matter what. It passes all 50 states, okay? So check your local jurisdiction if you're gonna nail instead of screw these in. But the benefit of screwing these together, this really cinches everything in, and it gives you a really tight connection, and you're screwing with a structural screw through here, through the joist, and into your ledger, which I feel is a much better connection in an earthquake, which we get a lot of them around here. It's gonna prevent pull away, which is really important. Here we go. And you can see how the joist hanger kind of sucked in a little bit when we did that. Just for comparison, Simpson makes 2 different lengths and they make 2 different sizes. We use the number 10s. These are number 10. There's an inch and, sorry, my gloves are probably in the way. Here's an 1.5 screw and a 2.5. So you could use these 1.5s if you wanted to attach all of these to, now sometimes we have to use these because if we're attaching to a concrete ledger or a concrete wall or a foundation wall, 2.5 ain't gonna work. So you gotta go to something shorter. So then we'll use these shorter screws to go into our ledger if it's something solid behind here that the nails won't penetrate. We got 1 in, we got 3 more to go. 3, and I can see this joist hanger moving as these screws go in. And these joist hangers have kind of an angle set to them, so it's really hard to mess up the angle that you're supposed to put them in because they kind of guide the screws right in at the proper angle. All right, man. So that is how you properly install a Simpson joist hanger. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Also comment and like our video below. We really appreciate you for watching. Over and out.